So Bucky and I were out at the stables the other day, letting him have a little trot, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Man, my hoof is it's really bugging me. What do you think's going on?" And I sat him down, I sat his head down, and I said, "Bucky, you really deserve better than my just curbside advice or some little just a la carte service right here, right now. You really should come in and really get evaluated, have a proper examination so we can see what's wrong with that hoof to make sure A, it's nothing really nasty, and B, to make sure we're actually getting to the causal root of the issue instead of just trying to make your hoof feel better right now." And you can see Bucky's a little angry, right? So at first he was like, he kind of ruffled his tail. If he had feathers, it'd be tail feathers, but it was just tail. So he got a little miffed, but then he goes, "You know what, I appreciate that." Said, "I completely understand, that makes sense," and he understood the value. Where I'm trying to go with this is, I can't tell you how many times a day, a week, a month, myself and Sloan, who's behind the camera right now, get asked by our friends and people in the gym and people out at events, I got this pain over here, or my ankle's been hurting, or I woke up and my neck's a little tight. And I'm sure all of my colleague friends out there, PTs, chiros, personal trainers, massage therapists, maybe even people that have no medical training whatsoever and just super nice, and people want to kind of dump on you, kind of come to us and say, "What do you think this is and what should I do about it?" And a lot of people are looking for, on the spot, either advice and sometimes care. And that same answer I gave Bucky is what I tell everybody. You really, as a patient, deserve more than my 15-second piece of advice based on your 15-second explanation of what's going on. And what I especially don't like to see happen is when one of my colleagues in my field, again, multi-professions here, we're just saying the medical field, delivers care on the spot without an exam in a very just haphazard manner. So as a patient, I absolutely appreciate you coming to me, because that means that you're looking to me as a source of valuable information. I really appreciate that, but again, I would never, ever, ever, ever go up to a lawyer with my lease if I saw him at the mall and said, "Can you look over this real quick and just make sure I'm not losing my mind here, gonna lose my butt?" I would set up an appointment, I would have him fully read the contract, get back to me, give me an advice, make any changes necessary. Same thing with a full exam in here at the farm or any other clinic across the United States or across the world. Now, the flip side, for my colleagues out there, I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So I've seen people get laid down on the floor and get adjusted. I've seen people have some just soft tissue done or stretch people. You may say, "Well, Dr. Beard, you go out to races and you work on people." We always make sure that we're clarifying we're not treating injuries at a race or any event. We're stretching people out, we're providing some soft tissue for kind of recovery, and we're taping people. None of those require a full examination to get a little bit of relief from some tightness or maybe even some minor pain, because we're not treating anything in the manner that it may cause more of an issue or promising that it's going to get them out of pain. So it's not even a liability thing for me, it's more of a credibility thing for the field. So if I'm going around treating people as they come up to me and just say, "Oh man, my neck's hurt," and I get in there and I do some soft tissue, what does that say about the value of the service that I'm providing? It doesn't say a whole lot if I can provide it in 15 seconds with no exam and I expect to get the results I would get in a clinic like ours. So for the medical providers out there, I don't care what profession it is, if you get questioned by somebody, just take pause at the advice you give, right? I do give advice, but I always make sure to either preface that or in that advice with, "You deserve a full exam." And that is not for the purposes of just drawing people into my clinic to make money. That's really what I believe. Why I think we are so good at what we do in here at the farm is the exam. My diagnostic skills, I'm gonna sound like I'm bragging, are excellent. And that allows me to get to the cause as fast as I can and treat things better and get people out of here as soon as we can. If I had no clue what was going on, I may just be throwing, curveball, fastball, slider, and hoping that something sticks here, and then all of a sudden we've spent 12 visits and we're still at square one. So we want to get to the root of the issue. Now, one thing we are trying to develop in here at the farm, and it should be coming out in the next, hopefully, month, is an online platform that's based on our meds library and our Ripple system, or the Reset Integrate Pattern Load system. It's a lot of trends in the medical field right now with technology of these kind of online exams with a doctor, or an online visit where you can go on with an MD. Some of them are a little creepy. It looks like they're on like an old IM chat or an AOL chat with the blue screen at midnight. But they can prescribe medicine over the internet now, which is a little scary. What we're going to try to provide is basically a tiered system for triage. So we'll have the ability to go to our website. You can type in, man, my neck is really tight. Now, we're not treating an injury here, but what you will get back in response is a Ripple protocol for maybe upper thoracic spine or neck or shoulder based on what we kind of see. And then we're going to send that back to you and say, you should try this for a day or two, but if you get no better, you get worse, you should come into the clinic. Now, that may save people a lot of time and money in here, and you may say that sounds like bad business. You're paying for that little online consult. It is cheaper than coming into the clinic, but it's also not medical care. It's mobility work, it's stretching, it's soft tissue. It's just in a better package, so you're not wasting time, and we're also not just popping NSAIDs, putting ice on it, and hope it gets better. So that's coming down the pipeline. I want everybody to look for that. I hope I gave the patient side and my colleague friends a little bit of info and some thoughts to chew on here. If you have any questions for me about anything, again, it's drbeaubeard@gmail.com, at Dr. Beau Beard, Instagram and Twitter. Our website's chiropharm.com, and you can find us on Facebook as always. Thanks, guys. See you next time.